Yo, what's up, guys? Uh, I was just, you know, lost in a little bit of thought. First thing I looked up was, can you be a functional weed smoker? You know, it's always interested me. Um, I was also watching this other video about this guy. Let me see if I can see it. Might not even be this channel that I. It's probably not even this channel. Hold up. Oh fuck! If I change screens, it's whatever. Basically, it was this guy who was talking about how he's like a stoner loser for the last 29 years, and how he knew functional weed smokers, and I kind of called cap on that, because there are very, 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 very few people that can be like functional drug users, like habitual drug users that are functional. That is probably just as rare as being like a billionaire or a millionaire, you know. Probably a millionaire. I'll say a millionaire to be more generous. And functional in what aspect? Like you're just living your life and you're okay with it, and at that point when you put it like that, it just sounds like you could have been better off if you didn't use these substances. And the funny thing about that guy who posted that video about quitting weed as a 29-year-old weed smoker, he only uploaded two videos, and that was about like what, 9, 10-ish months ago. So who knows where he's at with his journey? When you make a big declaration like that, you usually don't get things done. I know from experience. Very few people can declare something and actually do it. It's a movie thing. It's a movie script. It's movie script acting right there when you declare something and you do it. Unless it's like something really easy or something, but like great feats, they take reflection, they take dedication. You don't just say it and like feel good about it. As like people like to say, mental masturbation. When you just say it, you feel good, but when you actually try to do it, that shit rough. But going back to this post, so thing is about Reddit is like a lot of this shit can be LARP, you know. A lot of this shit can be LARP. If you read enough posts, you're gonna come across a LARP at one point. But this, I mean, I could check his profile, but this is an active account. He seems to be just seems to be like a regular user. So I'll take this post with like some sincerity. But to basically review, this guy has been a functional weed smoker and he is 46 years old. But he's come to a crossing point where he notices that he's always looking forward to the next session. And how when he's doing his work, he feels like well, it actually started with the social anxiety first. His social anxiety gets crazy when he's on weed, and it leads him to overanalyze a lot of situations, which I think everybody who has smoked weed silly has reached at some point. Like this is just a universal experience. Um, this got to him, and it broke his confidence down, and it made the rest of his life not worse, but not as functional as he thought it was. And since he quit it, he's kind of come to the terms that like weed isn't for him anymore. It's like something that it was just like a phase in his life. And a lot of these posts are starting to get to the same thing, like r slash leaves. Like, look at this title. The worst thing you can do is convince yourself that you're 100% functional while high. What during what? During every task. This is a realistic post right here. This is a realistic post right here. When you're on any sort of substance that is altering your state of mind, mind altering drugs, even caffeine. I'll even go as far as say caffeine, cause I genuinely don't get the caffeine hype. Like it is it like the caffeine hype is so overblown. I feel like I'm less functional on caffeine. Like I dead ass feel less functional on caffeine. I don't. Maybe it's just my sensitivity to it, but like, I just feel like a good ice green tea always suited me better. But and it's the same with any sort of drug. When you're off of it, you feel like shit. When you're on it, you feel okay for the moment, but that moment it continues, it passes through. And I mean, look, it's day 2 for me. This is my second time quitting, and this time I'm not turning back. I hate the restlessness, the anxiety, the horrible brain fog, the insomnia, the stress. Withdrawals are hard. But what keeps me going is the fact that I finally feel like I took control over something. I always convinced myself it made everything better. Food, showers, hanging out, etc. I lied to myself. But after 2 days sober, I realized that weed is 100% worse for you in the long run than you think it will be. People shouldn't talk about how it makes you lazy, how it's a gateway devil drug, because that's just stigma. They should show the real withdrawals some heavy smokers can get. I always blew off that anything would happen just because I felt so okay in the moment. But it can change on you. It'll mask your issues but make the root cause 100x worse when you have none. It may not be chemically addictive, but is 100% psychologically addictive in the hands of the wrong person. If you feel like you're alone in your journey, like you need something, like you won't be able to make it another day, you are not alone. And no one having these withdrawals is. If you're reading this and you're on day 1, week 1, month 1, feel proud of yourself. Don't focus on the symptoms feeling like shit. You are your own best mentor, and always remember that. Keep filling your days with small things gradually that are stimulating and that you truly like to do. You will find yourself again. I think anyone who's ever tried to like stop using marijuana, quit weed, they can relate with this. I think we all know how like the weed now is like Frankenstein weed. It's shot up with a bunch of terpenes, literally like in like basically like moisture greenhouses where they're just like super grown. Everything is optimized now for the consumer. I just I just think about my journey back, and something that really stuck out to me in this little post was how it'll mask your issues and it'll make the root cause 100 times worse when you have none. That is very true for me. I was dealing with a lot of insecurity at the time of my weed use. I pretty much did use weed to make myself feel happy. That was the reason why I used it. My home life sucked. My self esteem sucked. And I'm not saying like I had it like hard knocks type shit, but like it was my struggle. So it's just, your friends are doing it with you. It feels nice. And then boom. What? 7 years later, 6 years later, I'm 24 now, and I'm not saying I'm behind, but like I'm graduating college next year. I'll be 25. And I just feel like if I had like the foresight to see that like my problems wouldn't be solved with drugs and that I needed more just serenity, I it would have been an easier journey. But I think for me personally, the hard journey is what keeps this lifestyle that I've built in check, you know. Not just easily fucking it up and then just going back to it. Yeah, I think that's it.